Hello, families. I just wanted to reach out and give a brief summer camp update, and I thought it'd be easier to just record a quick video here rather than trying to type up in detail kind of some of the things we're working through and thinking through with regards to summer camp. So, as many of you know, we find ourselves in a season which, in a lot of ways, is hard to plan for the future because we just don't know what our options will be 2 weeks from now, a month from now, 2 months from now, that sort of thing. And so, as we're thinking through summer camp, I just want to start by saying we will do summer camp. In one form or another, I'm committed that we will hold summer camp this year. But how that looks is really going to vary depending on what options are available to us. So, let me just walk through briefly some of the things we're thinking about, some of our contingencies, just so you all know what to expect. And I just wanted to give you kind of an update as your students are still fundraising, still trying to go just where we're at in that process. So, plan A is still to do everything as planned by going to Bonita Park, even if that means utilizing some different sanitation and safety measures while we're there, to still go forward with going to Bonita Park. Now, really, what the crux of whether that option is going to be open to us is going to depend a lot upon what happens and what rolls out as of May 15th. So the camp, Bonita Park, they're going to have camps running starting at the end of May if things are able to open up. My guess is that if we run past May 15th and they still are extending things and that can't open in May, then we're probably going to move on to a contingency plan because if that can't operate at the early end of the summer, my guess is that they will still not be able to operate at the end of June, just with the way summer camps work. They hire staffs for the summer. They have to make those sorts of plans. And if they have to cancel the first half of their summer, where we're coming right in the middle of summer, I think it's a little bit of a risky bet for us to be able to use their facilities. So if come May 15th, it's not looking like early summer Bonita Park's going to be able to open, we're going to move into some of our contingency plans. Here's what some of those are. The first option would be Pastor Brian is connected with a camp up in Durango. That's where our last men's retreat was. That is a potential option for us. Again, that's going to depend on what the legislation's looking like in Colorado. But if, say, things were a little more open in Colorado than they are here, that could potentially be an option for us. Another option is one of our elders at the church, Eric Anderson, owns a pretty substantially sized lodge up near Las Vegas, New Mexico. And he's offered that to our use as well. So if we're able to gather, but we can't find a camp per se to meet at, we could hold it there and we might have to get some travel trailers or have a couple of boys rough it in tents for a couple of nights or that sort of thing. But that is an option for us. He lives on, or his lodge is on, I think, like a 5-acre property up there. It's beautiful. My family stayed there. So that potentially could be another option for us as well. Farther down the list of contingencies would be if we had to do a local type camp where students still sleep in their homes at night but then come to the church for the entirety of the day. We would probably still serve them 3 meals, really do a full camp experience here at the church. That's not desirable. That's certainly we're going to try to avoid that if at all possible because I think part of the perks of camp really is getting away. So that we're going to try to facilitate that. But that is an option. That is something we'll do if we're not able to leave town. And then finally, the last, and this one grieves my heart a little bit to even say out loud, but it's to do some form of summer camp online, and that's that would that would be really challenging. But if that is the case, we will do that. Last thing I'll say on these various contingency plans is if we are able to do a cheaper option, or say if we're doing that last option, like I said, virtual summer camp, a lot of the cost could potentially be refunded. If we're doing some of those other camp options, the cost is probably going to be about the same. We're probably going to need that extra cost to make some of those changes. But say if we were to do it here at the church, or if we were to do something like that, there could potentially be a refund. So no, if we do an option that's a substantially cheaper, we're not just going to keep that extra money, and we're going to reduce the cost for families. So we're thinking through all of that to say but we just can't make conclusive decisions until we know what our options are. I think a lot is going to be revealed as they roll out what happens beyond May 15th. My guess is we're going to see some different stages and some different phases implemented at that time. But ultimately, I don't even want to say we're dependent on the plans of our governor or our president or the CDC. We are following God's leading. And I know God has the best in store for what he has for us, even if that's not how we would plan it out. You know, it's obvious. We can plan our steps, but the Lord's going to direct our path. And we are following him. We're trusting him. And I actually think with everything going on in this crazy time we find ourselves in, that God has something really special in store for summer camp this year. So I'm excited. I just want to send out videos to let you know if you're wondering, what are they thinking? What are they going to do if XYZ? We have a handful of contingency plans, but as of right now, we're sticking with plan A as long as that option is available to us. So love you guys, praying for you. Please reach out to me if you or your students need any prayer or need anything or any way we can serve you in this season. So love you guys, and I hope you're encouraged by that update. Thanks.